The MCU has slowly but surely been dwindling in popularity, and with every new project they put out there facing more and more criticism, but now CBR is attempting to defend Disney and damage control for the MCU by selling physical media. I have a few different things to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and consider supporting through Patreon or via YouTube memberships. Now, I have to talk a lot about the MCU, and of course, I am a supporter of physical media. I always say this, but this situation is ridiculous because they're saying the solution to the MCU's troubles might be more physical media releases, which is insane because the content that they are creating for the MCU is plain and simply not very good. But CBR is basically saying that, oh, if you have these physical media bundles, people will watch the previously released content. They'll be caught up, and that means that they'll be more invested in the MCU. It says, after an unprecedented run of success for the MCU, 2023 brought Marvel Studios their first official box office flops. They've been flopping for years at this point, but it says even worse with the lackluster performance of the Marvels at the box office. The MCU may be facing an enthusiasm problem. However, the pace of release since Avengers Endgame debuted in 2019 has more than doubled. Yeah, I mean, they are focusing over on quantity over quality, and this will always be an issue. I would rather have only 1 or 2 releases a year that were super high quality than have 5 or 6 releases that are just poor. Unfortunately, they just have not been able to capture the magic of what made the MCU so special in the first place. They've been, bringing in all of these new characters, like all of the Eternals that they just threw away. They brought in She-Hulk, nobody cared about. We just had the Marvels, which had 3 women that nobody cared about the actresses or their characters. And it just proves that, yeah, the MCU is not in a good place, and it probably will never be what it once was. But they're basically saying that streaming was not the answer to growing the MCU, but physical media is. And this is hilarious because they're so desperate to defend Disney. They're trying to convince audiences to go and swipe their credit cards on physical media bundles. And hey, I am a supporter of physical media. I still buy physical video games whenever I can, don't get me wrong, but we can all see that this is a giant Disney D-suck by CBR, by people watching, as they describe, the extra features, the digital diaries that have traditionally been on Blu-rays and 4K discs, that it'll give people a new understanding of characters and reappreciate movies that plain suck, because that's the problem, okay? This is a ridiculous notion. Yeah, it's a damn shame that companies have gone away from physical media, because even if you buy a digital copy of something like a streaming, like a movie that's on streaming or something, it's not actually yours. Same with digital video games, but offering physical collections and extra features and digital video diaries, it isn't gonna save the MCU, and it's not gonna make a movie that sucked less sucky. The problem is the content, not that people don't have a way to access these films. And yes, I mean, it gets confusing for an average consumer because there are so many pieces of content you have to watch in order to be up to date. But that wasn't a problem for years and years because people were genuinely excited for the next big release. But now people aren't getting excited. They're getting, more and more movies behind because they're not keeping up because the content sucks, and that is the issue. The issue is just that the content is really bad, and even if you put out these physical collections, it's not gonna save the MCU. It's not gonna save these movies because they just plain and simply suck. I think that this is hilarious, though, that CBR is trying to de-suck Disney yet again. They're trying to damage control. They're getting kind of roasted on Twitter/X, people saying, nope, I thought people didn't buy what they don't like. And just like that, corporate needs to spur a new age of own media. I mean, I love a good piece of physical media, but the MCU is dying. It will most likely never be what it once was. And when I see articles like this from CBR saying, go out and swipe your credit card, you'll enjoy these honestly really bad pieces of content more, it just makes me not want to monetarily support them even more because I already don't want to. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments section down below. If you enjoyed this, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.